pick up any questions that weren't answered. Now the part I'm really excited about, we're going into the awards presentation. So Steve, can you switch presentations, please? And we're not leaving the room. There's no break. Just stay where you are.
Thanks, RJ.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jeff.
So we're in the awards ceremony, and this will be initially myself and Alexis and Sylvana. So next slide, please, Steve.
Yep.
There we go. So Alexis and Sylvana will be helping with the first part of the presentation and also handing out the awards. So I'm going to hand it over now to Alexis and let you take over the next part.
Right.
Next slide, Steve.
Yeah, sorry. So a couple things to discuss here about the AWP Awards program. Coming forth in future years, we're going to put up, create a set of awards for project success in the AWP space. You know, in a lot of other areas, there's recognition for teams and people who put in the hard work of getting programs like AWP, but other systems working and putting in the effort and really going above and beyond the extra mile. We're looking to do something to make sure people get recognized for the effort they put into the AWP community. So we're looking at two different awards, or three different awards. One for projects, both large and small, very, very large projects like the one we just discussed, but also smaller projects. There can be a lot of innovation around deploying AWP in the small projects workspace, and we do want people to be recognized for it. There's also innovation awards for those who come up with new and exciting ways to deploy AWP or do something in relation to construction workplace planning that can actually help move the entire industry forward. And then ultimately individual awards, both national and global, for those who've gone above and beyond in the advanced packaging space or the workplace planning space in order to recognize the effort they've put in over the course of a career. We've been working on this for the last year to try and ensure that we have a set of criteria for how the awards will be handed out and how evaluated. So near the end of this program, we'll start to publish the criteria and ultimately the paperwork that you can download, consider those for whom you wish to nominate, submit, and then we'll go through a review committee and let people know in the future conferences who will win the Projects and Innovations Awards. All right, Steve. So why do we need an awards program? As AWP becomes more global and more people are practicing it, but we still want to ensure that there is a real engagement in the community of practice. So we want to recognize and promote the positive behavior amongst people using and deploying AWP techniques. More importantly, we want people to share their experiences. You know, as AWP is used in all kinds of corners of industry, we want people to feel free to come up and let us know what's happening and recognize the efforts that are being put in. Of course, everyone likes to be recognized for success, and so we want to make sure people are getting recognition as well as honorable mentions for teams that are working hard in the AWP space. Of course, that broadens the outreach of AWP to a larger community. And of course, it gives way for those who are in either contractor space or owner space to promote their AWP expertise to their clients. Whether it be contractors saying, look, we've done all this great work and we want awards in our AWP program, or it's owners who may be considering working with other business relations to make it clear that they can do things successfully and have worked in AWP in larger programs. So from that perspective, I think it really does benefit the whole industry if there's a way for awards to give recognition to those participating in AWP successfully. Oh, there's more. I didn't realize that. It's a new slide. Obviously, we want to target high value outcomes with AWP. That's true. We want to make sure that as we get more recognition for AWP and it's used in more places, we want more people to be aware of its actual value, where the return on investment sits. Having an awards program with criteria that are judged that way can help make it clear what benefits AWP brings. Want more people to collaborate. Oh, what happened? Collaborate on the benefits of AWP, whether it be on project teams, but also be aware of benefits that their colleagues may be doing so they can establish new collaborations. Obviously, innovation. That's really what AWP is all about. But ultimately, we want to acknowledge the people and projects that are doing a good job in the advanced board packaging space. Okay. So there'll be a set of criteria for the large and small projects. Those criteria will differ based on the size of project. But the idea is there'll be 2 awards given out, and we want to encourage people to apply. The key thing is we'll say application for a small project would be quite a bit less than for a large project, and that makes sense. We don't want people to feel discouraged because they're not working on a $1 billion project and they feel like they don't have a chance of winning. We also don't recognize that those projects may have smaller teams and may not be able to have the effort to complete a large application. The dates are shown there, and we'll be awarding them hopefully in the conference next year. Steve. The methodology, we're going to set up an awards evaluation committee, which has a scorecard, which we'll be using to evaluate various applications. The applications themselves will be structured such that the information requested be feed directly into the scoring criteria. The actual team made up of a variety of people, owners, EPC personnel, project people, etc. It will also allow us to evaluate the criteria for the awards and with a diversity of points of view. So you're looking at people with different skill sets to be able to assess whether or not the AWP effort is really truly worthy of an award. We want the projects themselves or the award submissions to show evidence of improvements in some way or demonstration of AWP's advantages, safety, installation rates, productivity, etc. Some kind of metric to demonstrate that the AWP features of the project are actually working, as well as a focus on lessons learned. What would you do better next time? And what did you even learn during the execution that allowed you to improve your efforts as the work was going on? This is a sample of the scorecard. Won't go through this, but the idea is that it'll be ranked and scored based on those types of criteria to ensure that it doesn't really matter what kind of project you're doing. There's absolutely a chance that you can be successful and be awarded and given recognition. So we don't want you to think that your project is too small or too insignificant. If you've done something in regards to AWP, we want to hear about it. Oh, that's the additional scorecard. That's that. So how will the awards actually be scored? The overall weighting will be achieved as whether or not there was a measurable result of benefit, if you will, from AWP. We're also, for projects, looking for people to give feedback about the project who may have been stakeholders in the project. Engineering partners, construction partners, stakeholders in the ultimate owners organization. And that'll be weighted as well to ensure that there's not just simply the pure metrics that are the consideration of the project. Results, a little more subjective, but the idea of what the project consisted of and was it successful. And then finally, lessons learned. So those 3 things or 4 things will all be weighted up individually to try and come up with a composite score. And again, it's in trying to ensure that projects of all types have a chance to be successful. The key thing is the judges will be practitioners, of the AWP community who have a good understanding of what it takes to make use of AWP techniques. And so we should be able to judge this very effectively. Right. Secondly, the Innovation Award, a little more subjective, but the idea is professionals who are making use of AWP or developing tools or providing thought leadership, what have you, in the AWP space, if they're coming up with creative ideas, that we really want those creative ideas to be surfaced and recognized for their efforts. It's all kinds of reasons listed on the slide there, but really the idea is unique and creative ideas in the AWP community should be rewarded. This award's a little bit unique in that it may not be presented every year if there hasn't necessarily been something of worth, if you will, in the space. But I would expect with the rapid changes in tool development around AWP, there'll be plenty of worthy candidates in the immediate future. And then finally, the Leadership Awards. These awards are really for individuals. So rather than projects or a particular achievement, it's really for individuals with either national or global responsibility who have really done a specific task and over a career or in the course of several projects in supporting and developing the AWP community, whether or not that's working with CII, working with these types of conferences, or just simply practicing AWP in their projects. There really is an opportunity to recognize people who really make AWP the developing and emerging technique that it is. Once again, a panel of experts brought in to evaluate who the winners are. But the winners are intended to be from all across the industry, whether it be a contractor, technology provider, owner, really anyone who can demonstrate that they've brought some real value to the AWP space. These awards, again, will be both a national award in the United States as well as global in nature. Right, okay. So North American Leadership Award will be, and of course, because AWP is largely focused on North America, this is a larger pool of candidates, but it will be someone who is nominated for the award by those either in their industry or in their company. Contributions are intended to be significant, whether it be again in the project space or in the research and academic space. Demonstrated a high degree of participation and dedication to advanced work packaging as a technique for delivering capital projects. And of course, a number of accomplishments would be expected for anyone to be winning the award. And again, North America is the focus here, largely because there is a more focus of this AWP techniques here in North America. There's also a global award. Oh, I misunderstood where the slide was at. So with that being the case, this year we are awarding the leadership awards. And oh, there's Fernando, perfect. And so we are very excited to award the first annual North American Leadership Award for AWP to Mark Lambert. Mark has just retired from Eastman, and Fernando and I think a couple others will be going through a bit of a presentation to kind of walk through Mark's achievements in the space. And so with that, I'll let Fernando take it over.
All right, great. Thank you, Alex. I'm very proud to have nominated Mark Lambert for the 2021 North American AWP Leadership Award. I've personally been associated with Mark since we started working at Eastman in the mid-2016s, I believe. And it's impressive to see how Mark has accelerated adoption of AWP at Eastman and its participation in industry. From an organization perspective, Mark was instrumental in introducing advanced work packaging at Eastman, and with his strong leadership capability, built an effective program that delivered measurable improvements. Additionally, he championed the effort and promoted the AWP approach globally across Eastman facilities. In industry, Mark has been a strong contributor for the industry serving the serving on CII committees, AWP communities of visited advancements, and on the AWP conference boards. He has participated in numerous conferences, sharing his success stories so that other organizations and individuals can benefit from his and Eastman's experiences. Also, Mark has participated in numerous CII research teams, such as being the vice chair of CII RT 365, promoting the use of advanced work packaging. And I think Mark is perhaps the first to implement AWP in a portfolio project situation and prove that scalable projects do benefit from AWP. He has shared the Eastman story on how they overcame obstacles along their AWP journey and the benefits Eastman has enjoyed. His knowledge, capability, and personal approach has earned him respect at all levels of industry, from industry thought leaders, practitioners, and academics. A much sought after resource to participate in these industry events. And that's enough about me talking. Let's hear what others of Mark's colleagues say about him. Let's start with Jan Shoemate, Eastman Director, Engineering Services and Solutions, Worldwide Engineering Construction. So we play.
As AWP began gaining press as a game changer for mega projects, Mark Lambert became curious what he could do for projects on a smaller scale. Mark became a student of AWP application and results across industry. He learned the benefits, the challenges, and the cultural changes that had to take place for a successful implementation. He didn't shy away from any of these elements, but rather boldly became a champion for AWP at Eastman. He worked tirelessly from the field level to the executive offices to bring all of these elements together. The playbook that he created for Eastman is the basis for our continued AWP program today. Eastman has seen improved safety, productivity, rework, and meeting project expectations, all as a result of AWP. Throughout all of this, Mark has always found time to give back to the industry that he loves. He has supported CII, CURT, AWS, and numerous other organizations and individuals to deploy and implement AWP across industry. He's also taken AWP from a concept that was for mega projects only to a concept that's scalable to projects of any size. Our company and our industry are all better for Mark's commitment. It's been a distinct pleasure to be alongside Mark for this journey, and it is a proud moment for all of us at Eastman to see Mark honored with this award. Congratulations, Mark. Well deserved.
Perfect. Let's now hear from Kip Charlton, the Eastman Project Controls Manager in Work-Based Planning, Engineering Services and Solutions.
Congratulations, Mark. I can't think of anyone who deserves this award more than you. Looking back over the last few years, I remember you being one of the first people at Eastman to see what benefits the AWP program offers. As our AWP champion for Eastman, you were instrumental in starting our journey by leading the efforts for piloting 2 projects to now using AWP as a standard process for all capital projects. That is a great accomplishment. You've been a great leader, and the benefits now show through the capital efficiency, safety, and improved productivity. And I personally want to thank you for being a great mentor to me and the opportunity to be part of this effort. And hopefully we at Eastman can carry on your legacy. And again, congratulations.
Perfect. Let's hear from a few others. We get back to the presentation. Yeah, so a lot of your other colleagues had some great things to say. Let's talk about Patrick Harnedy, the Eastman Manager of Special Projects. Mark's experience and network at Eastman set the stage for his vision to greatly improve the productivity across capital projects. He's persistent and listens to practitioners and stakeholders for weaving these effective tools into our delivery process. Thank you, Mark, for pioneering this important effort. All right, let's go to the next one. We've got a lot for you, Mark. Pete Simons, Eastman Project Manager, Worldwide Engineering Construction. From my perspective, Mark is the originator of AWP at Eastman's largest manufacturing site at Kingsport, Tennessee, and a leader for the implementation of AWP practices corporation-wide. Mark was key in the planning and implementation of ADP concepts for Eastman's largest circular economy project, one of the largest engineering and construction efforts undertaken by the company in decades. Mark's matter-of-fact demeanor and approach were beneficial to educating the enterprise on what it means to implement ADP and why one would do it and how it can be done. By all means, Mark was effectively engaging all the parties in leading the ADP effort at Eastman Chemical Company. And let's move to some of your EPC staffs and supporters. This is Daryl Mills, Worley Project Director, Site Manager. Mark Lambert, a true leader in all aspects of the business. Mark pioneered and championed the implementation of and execution of advanced packaging with a solid vision of changing old paradigms of capital construction execution. With Mark's steady hand and leadership, he was instrumental in guiding the transformation of the Kingsport construction team to embrace the principles and practices of ADP. Mark championed the process formality and functionality into a new way of performing capital construction that is more efficient and effective. And I think finally one more, I believe, Phil Stanley with Fort Bacon and Davis, the site manager. I have known Mark Lambert for many years and have greatly admired his integrity, his leadership, and ingenuity. Mark is highly respected by all that know him, and Mark has had many accomplishments at Eastman in assembling and led to the development of ADP process for Eastman. We all know Mark. Mark is the best of the best. I agree, and Mark is a leader and well deserved of this award. So Mark, those are your colleagues. A lot to say, and that means a lot. it should mean a lot to you and all those at Eastman. So I'm going to hand this over to you. And Alexis, did you want anything else to say? Or?
Well, I think the award, Mark, you actually physically have it. Is that the?
I do,
Yeah,
Alexis.
that's what I was going to say.
So on behalf of the AWP community, myself personally, congratulations. It's a really quite the honor, clearly well deserved. There's probably nothing I can say that your colleagues and testimonials have not already said. So thank you for all your help.
Hey, thank you, Alexis, and I'm overwhelmed by those very nice comments. And let me say it's very special recognition for me, and it's an honor. And I would say a special thanks to the men and women of Eastman. I had the privilege to work with a great team for 31 years at the company. And Eastman has a great tradition of continual improvement and teamwork. And in particular, over the last 5 years, we've went from learning the fundamentals of AWP. I always called it learning how to spell AWP, to developing a customized program and seeing some benefits. So I'm proud of the work by Eastman and also our partners at Worley and FB&D who enabled us to do those things. Special thanks to the colleagues in the industry. I've benefited greatly from the shared learning from other owner companies and through the group ASI events and committees. I joined the conference steering committee a few years ago, and when we were very early in our journey, and I quickly found out that Lloyd would give you assignments, including action items like speaking on panels and doing presentations. And I say that jokingly, but that was really a lightning bolt to accelerate my personal learning. And I had a lot of learning from that experience. So thank you. And I also had the chance to work with CII research and on several committees at CII, and that was invaluable. And I'll say a special thanks to Ted Blackman, who taught us how to spell AWP, and to Fernando España and his team for supporting and encouraging us. And the poet John Keats stated that nothing ever becomes real till it is experienced. So for those on the line, if you're just starting, I would encourage you to jump in, continue with it, build your programs. And so again, special thanks to the Eastman engineering and construction team for their commitment, to the continual improvement and their willingness to take a step. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alexis.
Absolutely, and
Great.
congratulations. Enjoy retirement.
Yes, well deserved. And I believe Sylvana is going to hand out the Global Award.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much to Lloyd to give me the privilege to present this award. The criteria for these awards are the following. The nominee contribution to the advanced work packaging in their organization and for the industry, their significant contribution to the construction industry with, for example, innovation, effective implementation, business impact, mentoring, and this is just for me one of the big key items, all how they help to promote new generations. If we see a few of the things or the slides that we see during the conference this morning, there were a lot of big gaps that we need to fill, and I think the next award is based on that point. The nominee demonstration high degrees on personal dedication and improvement on cost, schedule, quality, and then safety of the capital facilities delivery process. The nominee record for accomplished would have added distinction to the recipient of the organization with his or she have associated. And for last but not least, primary focus on the implementation for AWP at the global level. And with that, the next slide, I just want to present you Jamie Gerbrak. This is he is the award winner for the Leadership Global Award. Eric?
Excellent. Hey, it's an honor and a privilege to nominate Jamie Gerbrak, my good friend, my good colleague. for this global AWP Leadership Award. It's an extremely well-deserved recognition of his efforts, his impact, and his accomplishments. Jamie is has 38 years experience at ExxonMobil, right? He's retired now, but just in 2021, but he retired as a principal construction engineer in their global projects company. Since retiring, Jamie's continued to serve, as he has since 2017, as the vice chair of the CII AWP Community of Business Advancement. But he's also been a part of the subcommittees within there, the CBA's Educational and Outreach, the AWP and Lean Joint Working Group, the Joint Working Group for Modularization, the Knowledge Management Subcommittee. He's co-instructed the AWP CII Best Practices course for the past 5 years or so. Back in 2015, Jamie began leading the efforts to bring the CII AWP best practice into ExxonMobil's global projects planning, training, and execution, right? So he's made a tremendous impact within ExxonMobil and ramping them up. And starting in 2018, he recommended and guided the formation and the staffing of ExxonMobil's AWP Center of Excellence, which really got the company going in terms of all the key roles and setting that up in terms of for success within ExxonMobil. As a champion and spokesperson for AWP and safety, Jamie's passion is AWP and safety, both those combined together. And if you ever want to hear a passion person in terms of AWP and safety, Jamie is the subject matter expert and the go-to person along those lines. And I can personally attest to Jamie's global leadership in this area and his dedication to improving construction, and especially making a positive impact on safety. A better planned and productive project is, in fact, a safer project. Jamie has mentored, inspired me personally, many within Exxon, CII, AWP, the CBA, CURT, lean communities, etc., and without a doubt has made a really positive impact on the construction industry globally. Let's hear from some of his peers at ExxonMobil, including Tom Morris and Jay Prakash.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Morris. I lead a team at ExxonMobil dedicated to implementing advanced work packaging. And I'm honored here today to be able to say a few words about a Jamie's Award. So Jamie and I first met probably 6 or 7 years ago now. At the time, I didn't even work for ExxonMobil. We were taking an AWP training course and met there together. And even in that first interaction, I really loved working with Jamie. I have memories of being in a breakout group and planning a path of construction, and already then he was talking about, well, how can we do this safely? And it really stuck with me. I was pleased to get a phone call from him several years or a couple of years later, and ultimately it's how I got in the job I am now with ExxonMobil. And those years of working with Jamie, it really had an impact on me. His commitment to safety, his attitude to make construction fun again through advanced work packaging. Jamie retired at the beginning of this year. Jamie, I'd say, everyone here at ExxonMobil, we miss you, but we're happy for you. So congratulations on your award. I can't think of anyone else who is more deserving. So congratulations, my friend.
Excellent. Now we have one from Jay.
It's been a pleasure and a real honor for me to have worked with Jamie Gerbrak for a good couple of decades, starting with our time in the Korean yards. I've known him to be extremely meticulous in everything he does. There's a lot of dedication. But the passion that I've seen for AWP in Jamie supersedes all else that I've known him for. And I know he will admit that. But that is also evident from the impact he's had within the company and through our fraternity in the CBA, all the joint working groups, the knowledge management subcommittee, etc. He's used every opportunity to promote AWP actively. So I'm extremely happy to see this very well-deserved recognition for him. Congratulations, Jamie, and the very best wishes for the future. I know you'll be doing a lot more in the coming days and years ahead.
All right, Jamie, let's hear from you. Congratulations, my friend.
Sorry, Jamie, just the old mic check.
Yeah, and you got to show the award.
Okay, how are we? Very good. Eric, I just really want to thank you so much. It certainly is an honor to receive this award in a session with you and others sharing your perspectives. And that's, since you are also an amazing AWP leader, along with the others who've shared here today. It's also an honor to be recognized along with our colleague and friend, Mark Lambert, as I've thoroughly enjoyed working with Mark in AWP leadership. And this award is extremely meaningful to me as it stands for the positive results, first and foremost in safety, that are being achieved by projects of various sizes around the globe because of AWP leaders from COA, CII, and various companies whom I've had the sincere pleasure to work with. Reflecting on my AWP journey, I'll briefly touch on just a few points around safety, culture, and where we're going from here. And as a closing safety moment for day one of the conference, let's all remember to frequently share the demonstrated benefit that AWP brings to safety management and safety performance. And thank you, Alexis and RJ and Jeff, for sharing on the AWP linkage to safety in the previous presentation. Mark Lambert and I have often referred to how safety alone can be enough of a reason for a company to apply AWP. And as Alexis shared this morning in the opening session, to work on applying AWP even better. Dr. Bill O'Brien of the University of Texas has said, AWP is like a wellness program for projects, not just in how it helps with safety, but of course with productivity and other key performance dimensions. And in my AWP work history, I've experienced the results of remaining consistent, passionate, and persistent in supporting AWP implementation. And very importantly, we see that when AWP is implemented well on a project, it can help establish a valuable organizational culture. And several of us in AWP leadership are working on furthering this topic. It's a culture that involves truly caring about each other, effective collaboration, commitment, ultimately confidence toward achieving project objectives with the appropriate information management transparency along the way, as again was shared in the previous presentation. And I remember when Eric and I were leading the adding of subcommittees to the Community for Business Advancement within CII. And now, some years later, here we are able to see the significant accomplishments of the subcommittees and the related working groups. And it's the accomplishments completed, but also the current activities that are continuing to occur. And I won't go into all of those because you're hearing about some of those in the conference today and tomorrow. We've heard today about how work is continuing in the area of data requirements and digital delivery, AWP education, AWP plus lean, the body of knowledge development. All of this is happening while Group ASI is effectively planning and coordinating the AWP events like this one and growing the overall AWP community of practice globally. And just being a part of that is particularly rewarding to me. I encourage everyone who's listening to this to join or stay joined with these AWP efforts going forward. You have an opportunity that if you need further information, you can contact CII, me, Eric Cravella, or other AWP industry leaders, such as presenters in this conference, who are also passionate about improving safety, planning, and execution efficiency. Just as AWP can increase project enjoyment for team members, my journey has been very enjoyable. I'm truly looking forward to its continuation. Thanks to ExxonMobil, thanks to Tom Morris and Jay Prakash for an amazing experience in working with AWP within the company. As in the past, let me close just by sharing this proverb from my favorite book that was ever written. Careful planning puts you ahead in the long run. Hurry and scurry put you further behind. And I see AWP as being largely about careful, effective, fit-for-purpose planning, rather than hurrying through planning. And I'm thankful to be joined with CII, COA, and others in AWP leadership on this global journey. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much, Jamie. Basically, we've hit the end of day one. Thanks to everybody that attended, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Alexis, Silvana, anything you want to say as the conference chairs to take us out?
No, I think today was a really, really great day. A lot of good presentations, a lot of good audience participation. So appreciate that. Please come on back tomorrow for day two. I think it'll be just as exciting.
Just reiterating Alex's things, that just be sure that you call tomorrow and be again with us on more information about front-end planning and how to get everything for advanced work packaging journey done. Thank you, Lloyd.
Indeed. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.